Okay, we're back for another episode of NBA 2K11, and you see, in my last episode, you saw the Dallas Mavericks defeat the Chicago Bulls by, I believe, uh, 24, 109 to 85, and now we're going to November 24 now, we're going to November 24. So this is going to be a matchup here today featuring the showdown with Florida, the Battle of the Florida. First place in the Southeast gonna be a round two matchup here in Orlando, featuring LeBron James and Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat take on Dwight Howard and Vince Carter of the Southeast leading Orlando Magic. And for this game, the Heat ended going for the block and the Magic gonna have the white. And here we are for tip off. We're going to send it over Kevin Harlan here in the M-Way Center in Orlando. Miami, Orlando starts now. Enjoy!
A Wednesday night presentation. The one, the only LeBron James and the Miami Heat go up against the Orlando Magic. Up next.
And there, a bit earlier, the Heat getting mentally and physically ready. Live from Orlando at the home of the Magic, we're broadcasting from the Amway Center. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg by my side. We get going for the NBA on Super Sports. Thrilled to be back in Orlando, the Magic ready for that home court advantage. They are undefeated, Clark, in their first 10 games of the season. Everything's clicking.
You know, this team has really wasted no time in making a strong statement. I mean, you look at the way they flowed on offense. They're in good rhythm. Everybody understands their roles. And defensively, they're playing with an aggressiveness that you like to see.
So here's Miami's starting group. LeBron and Bosh are the 3 and the 4. D-Wade out there with Mike Miller and Anthony. And for the Magic, Nelson and Carter are manning the backcourt. Brandon Bass is out there with Howard and Lewis. You know, there was a lot of questions for how this Magic team would do last season with Carter at the helm instead of Hedo Turkoglu.
Well, they didn't make the finals 2 straight years, but I don't think you can lay that at the hands of Carter. Certainly, he didn't play to the level they anticipated, but we talked about it earlier, Kevin. When you're talking about winning a championship, everybody has to do their part. It's a team game, win or lose.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
When I asked him about the strategy on defense today, he said they absolutely must prevent 3 runs to the basket. He said, we want to make those guys shoot it over us, not fly to the rim for easy points like they're so capable of doing.
Thanks, Doris. Going back to the changing parts for Orlando, you have to think they missed Hedo in the playoffs.
I think so because he was a playmaker. Without Hedo Turkoglu, they lost another guy who could make plays. And then you factor in his size at 6'2" and the ability to make plays. It was a night that mattered for most opposing teams. And that made it difficult. And he could also shoot the 3-point shot.
After his great playoff run in 2009, people thought Lewis was primed for a big year last season, and he really kind of faltered.
Hey, you know what? He had that tough start, though. He was suspended at the start of the season, Kevin, and as a result, never really was able to get into a rhythm early on, and that caused him to struggle all year, I think.
And now the Magic after the main shot from Dwayne Wade. Here's LeBron coming off his solid outing against Indiana. A foul called, and he earns a trip to the line. This season, LeBron James' second consecutive season as the league MVP.
And he dominated, Kevin. He was second in the league in scoring, 6th in assists, top 10 in steals. Not surprising he led the league in triple-doubles, too, with 4.
He was terrific. Ryan Anderson, who's checked in for the Magic. Ilgauskas is checked in for Miami. Here's Nelson. He just worked San Antonio in that last game. Wade is covered. Lewis behind the arc. The basket given off the assist for Nelson. Lewis has got 10 points in the game. How many more MVPs, Clark, you think LeBron will win when it's all said and done?
Well, it'll be multiple, Kevin. I think he could very well get close to that 6 or 7 number if he stays healthy.
About 3.5 minutes left in the first. Pass to Miller. Kid goes to go. the Magic the other way. And playing the Heat here for the second time.
I don't think they brought the kind of intensity they needed to. They had a slow offense and really were a non-factor on defense. Wow, they hit their first 5 shots. They're looking to close these guys out before halftime.
Nelson against Wade. And it's Wade slamming it down. A replay here. The Sprite Slam Can showing us how it's done.
And look at how he posed on the rim. For a few seconds after that one. That's never going to endear you to your opponents. They don't like that kind of stuff.
No, he was enjoying that one so much he didn't want to let go.
Yeah, I think he's throwing salt in the wound.
Here is Nelson. The Heat getting the bucket. Outside Carter. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. Carter's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. LeBron outside. It's a go from the wing. And it's Miami with another.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Magic leading by 5. As we see the Heat here, they were 32 and 20 last year in the Eastern Conference, good enough for the 5th seed.
They might have wanted to avoid the 5th seed had they known they were going to end up facing the rested and focused Celtics.
And the first one bounced. So for the Magic, Brandon Bass is checked in for Anderson. Reddick comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Duhon in for Jameer Nelson. And then for Miami, Anthony's checked in. And it's Chalmers in for Dwayne Wade. Yeah, the Celtics really took it to the Heat in that series, like you were saying. Shots up a 3. And it's Chalmers, that time on the assist by LeBron. Here is Duhon. 1:48 left in the first quarter. Backing down is Howard. Howard draws the double. Outside Lewis. And it's Miller with the rebound.
Oh, and did he ever want that 3 as payback? Unfortunately, he couldn't return the favor.
Let's swing it over to Doris Burke.
Kevin, the Magic gave Rashard Lewis a huge contract, but his shooting ability certainly fits their style of play. He said, it's rewarding to be in a situation where what you can do is highlighted, and playing with Dwight does that because he gets so much attention inside. The defense gets tired of seeing him dunk and starts collapsing on him. Then you're leaving 4 shooters wide open on the perimeter. Tough to guard both the in and the out against the Orlando Magic.
A pick your poison situation. Thanks, Doris. Once again off the mark, Orlando. Miami trailing. They defeated Indiana in the last one.
This is a fun game to watch, especially defensively, if you like that side of the ball. I mean, big-time SWAT action all game long. Nothing easy. Not too often do you see such an impact, a big impact, from shot blocking. But that was definitely worth noting in this one.
So it's Miami now. The Magic hitting the bucket. Now LeBron. He has 7. Here's Chalmers. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Miller. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Miller's got his first 2 points of the night. And the Magic with possession. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
There wasn't really much that stood out to me. Not a lot of areas that stood out. And from their own standards, I'd have to think they'd rate their performance as below par. But again, it's about winning, and it was strong enough to win.
Orlando trailing here. Backing down is Howard. Here's Duhon. Can't answer back with his own 3. He gets it up. Shot is off. Now first quarter of play over. Some good numbers on the board so far. Heat lead by 2.
Well, they've been getting out on the break and finding easy buckets. You got to give them credit. They've been working their tails off.
It's more NBA coming your way.
Spend Thanksgiving with the NBA. Gilbert Arenas and the Washington Wizards hit the road for a duel with the Atlanta Hawks this Thursday, 8 Eastern. Don't miss it.
Both teams neck and neck as we begin the second quarter. So with Bosch on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. They've got Dwayne Wade. Vasquez is out there with Harrison. Then there's House and Jones. The first one falls.
Jameer Nelson had that breakout year in 09 that was derailed by injury, but he just didn't look the same last year.
And so he makes both from the line. Here comes Dwayne Wade. And they also played a big role in their last game with Indiana. Has him with it. Wade outside. Takes the three. Gets it to go. Wade's got his third basket of the night right there. Yeah, back to Jameer Clark. He saw his points per game fall as well as his field goal percentage.
And injuries had a lot to do with that. I mean, you just wanted to see Jameer Nelson for a full season, and then you'll probably get a better taste of what he's about.
Something of a grapefruit battle when these clubs meet each other. Running the bragging rights in the state of Florida here with the Magic and Pete Clark go together like sunshine and lemonade. Huh?
Oh, we're bringing out all of the analogies. I like that, partner. And both of these teams have been competitive in the playoffs and their division for a while now. Can't think of the last time when one of these two teams did not win the Southeast, Kevin.
Orlando on D after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Easy shot, and it's Miami with another.
Well, that's a little bit of the European style of play there. When your bigs can hit the mid-range jumper, it can really open things up for everybody else.
Let's go to our great sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for an update. Doris?
Well, Kevin, you look at Stan Van Gundy, a demanding coach to be sure. He really holds his players accountable. Last year, Dwight Howard went to him and said that he needed to avoid focusing at all times on the negative, saying instead of bringing each other down, we have to pull each other up. Stan Van Gundy agreed and tried to be more upbeat. Guys, a very good example of good communication helping a team come together.
And credit Van Gundy for being open to change. Interesting story, Doris. Thanks. With Clark, now it looks like we've got an injury. And he may have to come out of the game. That doesn't look good.
Kevin, this is certainly one aspect of the game that you never want to see. Hopefully the injury's not too severe and he'll be able to return to action soon.
So both teams changing it up here. Here is Nelson. The Heat getting the bucket. Here's Howard. Throws it down.
You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
He's checked in for the Magic. Free throw good, Howard. Thinking about the Magic's postseason, Howard was a factor for them, but his numbers weren't the same as what he did Clark in the regular season.
Yeah, that happens sometimes in the playoffs. He averaged about 1 point and 2 rebounds below his regular season line, but he still was averaging a double-double, 17 points and 11 rebounds. But you'd expect maybe a tad more than that from him.
And that one's good for Beaches. Heat on offense. They haven't trailed by more than 7. They host the 76ers after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here is Duhan. 2:48 left in the second. longer. The pass to Howard. Beatrice launches it. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. He has 5.
Nice feed. That's the way to keep the ball moving.
Here's Wade. He's got 9. Miller kicks to James. 4 on the clock. The Heat need to get a shot off. And there's Miller with that time on the assist by LeBron. Miller's got his second basket of the night. And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. Looking at this Miami team, the Heat only 9-7, Clark, in their division last year.
But with that division, anything over 500 is a good mark. I mean, 4 teams in the postseason, Kevin, that's a really tough division.
Yeah. Orlando making some changes. Gortat's checked in for Howard. Bass comes in for Ryan Anderson. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Chris Duhon. And then for Miami, Anthony's checked in. And it's Chalmers in for Dwayne Wade. Pietrus from outside. From Wade. 8 points for him.
After having none in the first, he gets 2 3-point shots to go hit.
Here's Chalmers. He's got 6. Yeah, in that tough division you mentioned, it's not really going to get any easier anytime soon.
I don't think so. At least the tough games should prepare them better for non-divisional games going forward.
You would think?
Let it go, let it go!
One thing you have to look at with the Magic Club, their best players are still pretty young and in a great position to be in a position of strength for a long time to
We'd
come.
love to see a nucleus of young, developing, hungry, talented players, and that's what the Magic have.
Their free throw is good. And Clark, considering the Heat were a team with so many free agents, a lot of whom knew they might not be coming back, they had remarkable chemistry in their locker room.
Yeah, I think that's a credit to the character of the players, but also the coaching staff. They did a great job of playing unselfishly and focusing on wins over individual numbers. And I think you'd have to give a lot of that credit to the leadership of Dwayne Wade, quite honestly, Kevin.
Here is Nelson. 6 points for him. It's Tint. And here's Pietrus. Here's Carter. Answers right back with a 3 of his own. Carter's got 6. To expand on what you just said, a lot of the free agents were established veterans. Teams know what they can do individually, so the best thing they can do career-wise is just win.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's a great point, Kevin. But also it speaks to the organizational leadership from the front office to the top of the team. Fantastic pass for the alley-oop. You gotta love that.
Worked on that one before.
Done it countless times.
Here's LeBron. He's got 9. Chalmers with it. And it's Nelson picking him up. And Chalmers kicks to Miller. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Miller's got 6.
Boy, he's really doing a nice job taking advantage of what the defense is giving.
It's 1-on-1. The alley-oop. And the turnover by Miami. Now look at the hottest teams in the league. These squads have knocked down everything in the last 10 games. Taking a look at Miami. They're totally accurate. 3rd in the NBA.
It's due to better shot selection lately, Kevin. They're taking their time to make sure the shots they take go in. Really good self-discipline there.
So for the Magic, Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Gortat. And it's Lewis in for Michael Petrus. And then for Miami, Chris Bosh is checked in for Haslem. House comes in for Mike Miller. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Lewis, the basket good off the assist from Nelson. Lewis has got 12 in the game.
Kevin, they haven't attempted as many threes here in the second, and I think they're trying to get the ball inside more.
Here's Anthony, deflected by Howard. The break is off. Here's Carter. Somehow misses the one-handed flush. It's House outside. Good. And we're now all tied up at 45. It's all tied in Orlando.
Rashard Lewis has been playing well. He has 12 points, and the three ball's been there for him, too. He's hit 2 from out there. What an opening half that was for him.
2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center.
And welcome, everyone. The HP Halftime Report is here, and a little rivalry action is on tap. Let's get you started. We've seen the Magic slugging it out. They came out of the gates playing some solid basketball. They'd like to continue that right here. A sensational first half for Rashard Lewis. They love the output that they're getting out of the Frenchman, Michael Petrus. Also, Miami looking good in the first half. They're getting a ton of points from their bench players, a big injection of energy. Mario Chalmers has been the X factor. He's got 9 points and has added a couple 6 in this one, too. A pair of guys here who've been factors for their teams in tonight's game. Now, back to Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. We'll get you ready for the second half.
Well, it's been a tight game as we enter the second half. Both teams going at it. Here's LeBron. 9 points in the game so far. This Heat team really had to ride D-Wade's shoulders last year.
Well, nothing new there, Kevin. I mean, they really leaned on him for a lot of things. Everything in the stat sheet was something Dwayne had to do. Score, rebounding, assist, defense. I think some players got a little too used to leaning on him and expecting him to make every catch.
You just stand there and wait for him to bail you out.
That's right, and you become a spectator instead of a playmaker.
Nelson and Carter are met at the backcourt. Lewis is out there at Brandon Bates and Howard. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. Nelson against Wade. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. Will shoot 2. That's on Mike Miller. And with their team-building process, they were biding their time so they could reload this offseason. Now they're poised for big things, and they think a deep playoff push in the East. No good on that one. He hits the second from the line.
He couldn't make them all, but at least he got this game tied up.
Here's Wade. He's got 9. Guarded by Nelson. And again, Miami with the triple.
They've been trading buckets and trading leads. What outstanding competitors out there.
The Magic trail by 3. It's Vince Carter on the wing. Covered by Miller. Backing down is Howard. Miller with the double team. Here's Nelson. Yes, from Downtown. Nelson's got 10 points in the game. And here are the Heat. They haven't trailed by more than 7. Takes a 3. And LeBron gets it to go with the assist from Miller. 14 points for him.
Look at what we've got going on here. A bit of anything you can do, I can do better with that 3 ball.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at the Magic. Right now they're off to a fast start. First place in the conference. And of course the Heat, just a couple of spots back. Michael Petrus is checked in for Brandon Bass. Here is Petrus. 8 points for him. Nelson. Open look. Again, the Magic score.
That's an excellent job of getting to the bucket. They're rolling to start this half. Everything is clicking.
Wade dishes to Anthony. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Dwight Howard.
Contact certainly altered that shot. The official was right on top of it.
And the first one. Drops. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here is Nelson. He's got 10. On a force last year, the Orlando Magic just looking there at the numbers. They are just unstoppable.
Well, Kevin, a lot of teams in the East would have been happy with 39 wins overall on the year, let alone winning those, having that kind of number in conference games.
Myers from 14, and that one's stripped by Bosch. Bosch has got his 3rd bucket of the night. While taking the most shots per game in his career last season, Clark Bosch also had the best field goal percentage of his career.
And that's impressive. When you increase in volume, a lot of times that percentage will go down, but it speaks to Bosch's savvy, IQ, and discipline as a guy who took good shots consistently.
So his career definitely is ascending.
Oh, I think he's very much in the prime with a lot of good basketball ahead of him.
Back to Bosch, who really was counted on a lot last season by that Toronto team.
Without question, when you have this kind of ability and personality, you automatically become a go-to guy. And I think he's handled it well throughout his career so far.
And Clark, an injury on the floor, even though they're a part of the game, it's always tough to see someone in pain like that.
Tough break there, Kevin. You hate to see a guy go down with an injury. Let's hope he can get back soon.
Fouled, and he was real close to getting the 3-point opportunity. He'll go to the line for 2. Both teams deciding to change it up. And the first one at the line is good. You know, Clark Wade gets a lot of credit for his offense, and deservedly so, but I think in some circles he's a very underrated defender. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that, Kevin. I mean, he isn't the biggest guard, but he can guard anyone at the position because of his speed, length, and strength. He's a pretty strong guy.
And the Magic making a change here. Here's Lewis. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. Lewis has got 17.
Well, he's been doing his part, Kevin. He definitely is focused and came to play.
Back to Bosh. And that one's in from the low post. 9 points in the game so far.
When he gets it going like this, you've got to double team him. That's your only hope.
Chalmers against Nelson. Lewis with the three. The shot no good. And it's the Heat taking it the other way. Here's LeBron. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
My man is in fuego. Definitely way too hot to handle.
Back to Lewis. He's picked up by LeBron. And Rashard Lewis with the three. Lewis has got 20 points.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
Now Chalmers. He's got 11. Over Nelson. And the Heat got another bucket right there.
He's a streaky shooter, but when he gets it going, he can put points on the board in a real hurry.
Defended by Chalmers. Here is Peaches. And Howard slams it home.
He's getting the highlight reel player of the day for that one. Now that was a dunk.
He certainly put a little something extra into that slam.
A little added pizzazz.
Well, Magic making a switch here. Carter's checked in. The and one is good, so a three-point play that time. Here's Miller. He's got 6. Gets a good look. And again, it's LeBron James. LeBron's now got 20. Orlando trailing here. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. And here's Nelson. 14 points for him. They will this one.
Right now, he's being extremely active on offense for him this quarter. He's perfect from the field.
Here's Miller.
They'd be smart to hold it now. For the last shot.
Uncovered. And it's Miami with another.
Boy, what a tough competitor, partner. He's still contributing even with the injury.
Here comes Nelson. 16 points for him. Lewis hits the bucket.
He's been stroking it from long range all game long. Actually, most of his points have come from beyond the arc.
Now Warrior.
Well, Kevin, this team is showing a slight disadvantage in the turnover department. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
And it's the end of the quarter. And a neck-and-neck game we've watched so far through 3. It's been a good hit from Rashard Lewis.
Yeah, he continues to hit big 3 after big 3. His long-range attack has really been significant to their offense.
Magic out in front, up by 1.
Spend Thanksgiving with the NBA. Tyreek Evans and the Sacramento Kings go up against Baron Davis and the Los Angeles Clippers this Thursday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific.
So as we get rolling here in the 4th, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for the Sprite Spark Report. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Magic put together, they get the Sprite Spark Award. They caught fire offensively in the second quarter and took control right there, gentlemen.
Doris, thank you. Big scoring run there was the spark they needed.
Everything started to synergize, and once the ball was rolling, there was no stopping.
Here's Williams. So with Wade on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. They've got Ilgauskas on the floor. Mike Miller is out there with Arroyo, and there's Haslam and Jones. Now here's Williams. Connects from 13 feet out. Williams has got his first basket of the night.
When the margin's this tight, every basket starts to take on a little bit more meaning.
It stays here. And upcoming the schedule for the Orlando Magic. They'll be taking on the Washington Wizards. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Jones off the inbound, and the Heat got another bucket right there.
Explosive offense. These two teams have been going at each other this entire game.
Williams with the ball. Pass to Carter. Deflects the pass.
Yeah, that's only his first giveaway for the game.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. Here's Williams. The three ball. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
There's no answer for the three-point shot this half. They dominated from behind the arc.
Now Arroyo jacks up the triple. Good. And Miller gets the assist.
That's a good job going right back at him with the three of their own.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Bass. Richardson comes in for Rashard Lewis. J.J. Redick's checked in for Michael Petras. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Jason Williams. And the Heat making a change here. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He got right in the faces of his players and laid it out, saying this game is going to come down to heart. It's simple. Show me how much heart you have. We'll see how his team responds to that test, Kevin.
A tight game here in Orlando. Back to Carter. With a two-hand.
Plays like that are what makes this league so great. He's a special player.
I don't care if you're a fan of another team, you have to admire someone, Clark, who can make those types of plays. And Ilgauskas kicks to Chalmers. Here's Haslam. Again, the Heat, good for two.
Yeah, both teams have ramped it up here in the second half.
And it's the Magic with the ball. They've never trailed by more than 5. Throws it up. Carter.
Just toss it up there and let your teammate. Take care of his business. Punch in.
Is there a prettier play in the game of basketball than that?
I don't think so. Yeah, but this has really been a competitive. Fun game.
Here's Nelson. 2:43 left to the fourth. Here's Howard. Backing up the assist.
What a great look to get him inside. That's the way to find him when he's ready to score.
Here's Haslam. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist.
The fast break left the defense scrambling to react, and they couldn't get to him in time.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. They trail by 4. 2:22 left in the game. Orlando making some changes. Rashard Lewis, he's checked in for Richardson. Petras comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Duhon in for J.J. Redick. The Heat also changing it up. Wash comes in for Ilgauskas. And Mike Miller subbed in for Eddie House. Nelson outside. Off target for 3.
This is one of the key reasons why they're losing. You have to get more production out of your core star players.
Here's Bosch, and it's Miami with another.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfectly.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. They're behind by 6. 1:59 left in the fourth. Vince Carter is checked in for Chris Jude. Then for the Heat, Anthony's checked in. Here's Nelson. Here's Petrus. Rebound by Mario Chalmers.
Well, he was wide open for a reason. The D was just begging for him to attempt that shot.
Here's Bosch. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. And the Heat lead by 8.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Nelson, the pass to Howard.
What a high flyer this fellow is. I mean, fancy moves like that are pure in second nature. For him.
If we see something more impressive than that tonight, I'll be shocked, Mark.
Yours truly would be too.
What? On offense, here are the Magic. They trail by 6. Here's Petrus. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. They close the gap to 4.
That's a good look. Very nice look.
Here's Miller. Shot misses. The Magic the other way. Calipisa. Nelson kicks to Howard. And here's Petrus. Shoots from the corner. That's good. Inside Howard with the assist.
Kevin, that's what you expect from him. When the pressure's at its highest, with the game on the line, that's when he's at his best.
Myers from 14. And that one's good by Miller.
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
Now Anthony defending. Puts it down and draws the... On LeBron James, and he makes the three-point.
As if there was any question, Kev. He's just not fazed by the pressure. He stays focused and always makes big plays.
Less than 1 minute left.
He got a little careless there, a little too relaxed. They can't let him down at all right now.
He knocks down the clutch free throw. Gets them both, and now they have the lead. And the Heat all-time lead. They're down by 1. 52 seconds left in the game. Here's LeBron. The inbound pass. And again, Miami with the triple.
He's starting to feel it. He's in a groove here in the second half.
Here is Nelson. 48 seconds left to the fourth. Defended by Chalmers. Back to Lewis. Good. Nice assist from outside.
Oh, that's much in the clutch. They needed that one, Kev.
Here comes Mario Chalmers. Just 5 on the clock. The tray. Vince Carter grabs the miss. Now a timeout called by Orlando. The Heat making the switch here. Howard with it. Nelson dishes to Howard. And Vince Carter with the slam.
Right now, he's just too good, Kevin. Way too good. They need to bring a second defender and try to make him give up the ball.
The Heat making a switch here. Here's LeBron. LeBron right side over Petrus. The shot's good from LeBron.
He's got a sky-high field goal percentage, and that's because he's been working to get good looks.
Time expires, and we're going to overtime.
Sean Lewis has been playing well. 25 points, and he's buried a ton of three-pointers in this game, too.
We're back to Orlando after this. The fourth quarter was not enough in overtime to start with the jump ball. Brandon Bass is checked in for Orlando. The Magic control the tip-off to begin the extra period. Here's Howard. Good, and a nice assist from outside.
Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
James up high and down hard.
Oh, my goodness. Nobody stopped the ball. The D made that much too easy for him.
Here's Nelson. There are the Magic with another bucket.
He's so clutch, Kevin. When the pressure is at its highest, that's when he's at his very best.
Here's Chalmers. And sends it from three. Here's Nelson. 2:13 left in overtime. Carter up top. Easy shot. Good. And a nice assist from Nelson. Miami trail. On the wing. And the Heat got another bucket right there.
The intensity level has really picked up here in the second half.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're losing by one. 1:57 left in overtime. The Magic making a switch here. Griffiths is checked in. Rodauskas is checked in for Miami. Here's Carter. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard.
The defense can't do much at that point. You got to do your work early and be preventable.
LeBron outside. A three. And again, Miami with the triple.
He's on fire. Whatever the defense is throwing at him just ain't working.
Here's Nelson. 1:41 left in overtime. Here's Lewis. Takes it up. And off the glass as he lays that one up and in.
Way to distribute the basketball.
So it's Miami. They haven't trailed by more than 7.
They say the mid-range game is becoming a lost art in the NBA, but you certainly couldn't tell it from watching that play. What a sweet stroke.
And Orlando again with the bucket.
Well, the defense can't give up chances like that too often, or you'll pay for it dearly.
Now Chalmers. Miller outside. Wide open. Vince Carter grabs the miss.
Kevin, that's the kind of shot you want. You can't ask for better execution on offense, but sometimes it just don't fall. Yeah, both teams have ramped it up here in the second half.
Here's Chalmers. And again, Miami with the triples.
Kevin, he's been lights out from beyond the arc so far. He's got the hot hand, and it's been a joy to watch.
Chalmers gets the reach-in call. That is his first foul of the game. And the Heat making a change here. Anthony's checked in. Here's Carter. The inbound. LeBron knocks it away.
It stays here. Good defensive footwork shut down his path to the basket.
Rodauskas is checked in for Miami. Here's Nelson. That's good. And so Howard with the assist.
Well, he's really been big for their team, finding a way to consistently get it done on the scoreboard.
A three. And again, Miami with the triple.
Well, no better time to catch fire from three-point range than in OT. He's hitting those triples over and over again.
Here's Carter. Drains the easy jump. Here's Chalmers. This is a crucial possession for him. A lot at stake here. Here's LeBron. Shot's good.
They still have a foul to give.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're behind by 3. 11 seconds left in overtime. What do you think?
You need a 3 here to tie. There's still some time left on the clock. You can get a quick layup for 2. You take that and then foul.
Here's Carter. The inbound pass. Tipped. But they get it back. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Here's LeBron. LeBron right side. It's good. There's the game-winning shot.
Take it home, young fella. Take it home. What a way to end it.
And so the big win by Miami in a tight game. An impressive victory in overtime after an exciting end in regulation.
You know what? In a long game, fatigue can sometimes affect every aspect of play. They didn't look tired at all to me.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan Brent presents our player of the game, LeBron James.
unbelievable close game in Orlando, but Dwayne Wade is out due to the strained Achilles 1 to 2 weeks in. LeBron James clutched the game-winning to save for the Miami Heat defeat the Orlando Magic in a close contest. Let's check out the real box score, and this is the first 2K11. We have an overtime game. So let's check out from stats. The Magic 29 points for Rashard Lewis, Vince scored 25, Jameer Nelson 22 and 19, Dwight Howard 20, Pietrus 14, and looks like in the rest of the Orlando Magic. On the other hand, for Miami Heat, LeBron James 35, Mario Chalmers 27, Chris Bosh 15, Dwayne Wade got 12, but got ended up with the injury. Mike Miller 10, and the rest of the Miami Heat. Close game in play in overtime, down to the wire as the Heat take down the Magic by 2 in overtime, 123 to 121. What a close game in the contest. And coming up next, we're gonna skip for Golden State and Houston, who's gonna win here. And the Rockets will continue on the road. They will continue a red hot team in the NBA. Let's check out some view box scores for the Rockets. Yao Ming and Louis Scola have 24-point share. Even Kevin Martin and Aaron Brooks 19. Brooks have 12. Miller have 9, and the rest of the Houston Rockets. In the other side for Golden State Warriors, 20 points for David Lee. Monte Ellis 17. Udut 15. Curry 14. Wright 11. And the rest of the Golden State Warriors. Okay, so that pretty much it's time to simulate Truth Day. Joel Anthony will be healed for Miami. Everyone is healed. It's just fine. Alright, it's time to move on here. November 25. There's no D-League games together on Thanksgiving. So we got the last time you saw the NBA was played on Thanksgiving. It was 2010. Since 2011 was a lockout. It was. Last time you saw the NBA was playing Thanksgiving, it was the 2010. It was a featured doubleheader TNT, but ended up the lockout since it was supposed to be the last time. You know what the fun fact is? Fun fact? Let me search. Search it and let me search it. Fun fact. Last time that NBA was play in Thanksgiving, it was 2010. Was played only 2 games on Thursday. It is TNT doubleheader on November, I believe November 25. First game was that was playing last time with TNT Thursday play on Thanksgiving, but we ended up it was 2011. That was, I believe it was scheduled for 2011-2012 season. That was supposed to be originally scheduled on November 24th, but we ended up in 2012 lockout, reduced 66 games every time the NBA have played Thanksgiving. He's so ended up. Now I saw the games. So the very, very sad last time the NBA have played Thanksgiving, it was 2010. But at the end of the line, that was showing up here is the schedule in 2011, 2012. So originally Thanksgiving, so we got of 2011. Here's the schedule. So Philadelphia 76ers take on the Atlanta Hawks, and then the New Orleans Hornets versus the Los Angeles versus the New Orleans Hornets versus the Los Angeles. history ended up playing. So this is right now the NBA Thanksgiving here on here. Right now, it just happened. There are only scraps. The Thanksgiving game was scrap. So this was same as well. Because we were not playing Thanksgiving thing as part of the NFL Thanksgiving triple header. It was 2012. There. In real life, in 2010 Thanksgiving, you saw Thanksgiving right here. Thanksgiving, I believe. Let me see the Thanksgiving result in 2010. Thanksgiving result was played in 2010. I believe it was the Tom Brady and the New England Patriots take on Matthew Stafford, Detroit Lions. Second one, it was the Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints take on without Tony Romo of the Dallas Cowboys. Then the rematch of the AFC wildcard game between Carson Palmer of the Cincinnati Bengals. Take on Mark Sanchez of the New York Jets. So this was for the real life. So the Thanksgiving matchup. So our first game, we have the Kings take on the Clippers. Going to be DeMarcus Cousins, Tyreke Evans take on Baron Davis and Blake Griffin. And in the second game, we have Gilbert Arenas and John Wall of the Washington Wizards take on Josh Smith and Joe Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. So looks like it's going to be good. So here next game on Black Friday night, Rockets Podcast, our first matchup and our second matchup of the day between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. So why is NBA D-League here? Why is the NBA D-League there? Because so many games are jam-packed. So, gonna wrap up here and check out some save now. We see the wrap up here because it's so hard. We can beat the Warriors 1 hour, 10 minutes, 35 seconds. So, time to save and we'll wrap up here tonight. While a close game in the contest here in Orlando as the Heat beat the Magic by 2, 123 to 121. And coming up next tomorrow, we're on the Staples Center in Los Angeles. First game will be Tyreke Evans and DeMarcus Cousins of the Sacramento Kings take on Blake Griffin and Baron Davis of the Los Angeles Clippers. This is the Battle of the California, and followed by second game here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Phillips Arena featuring Gilbert Arenas and John Wall of the Washington Wizards take on John Smith and Joe Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. What a great victory. The Heat beat the Magic by 2 in overtime, 123 to 121. This is Andre Kenshin saying so long from Phillips Arena in Atlanta. And we'll see you tomorrow on Monday. We'll head to Staples Center in Los Angeles. First game, the Kings and the Clippers, followed by Phillips Arena, the Wizards and the Hawks. And later on, we will have an episode 8 of Spin Your Real Random Team. Will be the final bit of NBA 2K14 of the year 2025. There will be Spin Your Random Team next week. So time to take care and peace out. Goodbye, and we'll see you later for 2K14 Spin the Real Challenge. No, Random Team Choose Your Team edition. Take care.